Hey there, my name is Rich Sermonello. I'm a professional photographer and an Amazon influencer, and I want to talk a little bit about this 22-inch folding ring light. Now, first of all, there's a lot to this. This is quite a kit. I'm going to start with the ring light itself. Okay, it actually folds, which I've never seen a design like this. It's kind of cool. It doesn't snap into place. It just kind of like folds up and folds down, and you can use it in a half folded position or use it as the full ring light. That's pretty incredible. There are actually three of these phone holders on metal springs. I don't know if they're not springs, but they're sort of like metal bendy flexy things. Here's one of them. So you've got this flexible holder, and then you've got like this little ball joint at the end. Now, I don't know if I'm more impressed with the fact that this comes with three of these or that there are people who actually use three to record content. I guess if you record multiple live streams, you have multiple phones going at the same time. This is something new to me. I just learned it. So there's a spot here, here, and then of course the third one can go in the middle. I don't have it screwed in at the moment, but you can put all three. I'm only going to be using one phone or one iPad at a time, I think. So I won't need all of this stuff. Anyway, it's still kind of impressive. The stand that it comes with, let me take off the ring light for a second because the stand, in my opinion, is the weakest link. It's metal, but it's not particularly sturdy. It's got these little plastic uh, clips, tension clips to adjust the height. And I mean, it's brand new and nothing has happened to it, but I have had stands that have these plastic things and eventually they end up coming up off. So I don't know that this stand is going to be super useful for the long haul. Also, it came apart and it required a little bit of assembly. You have to snap the center post into the legs. It only took a minute to assemble, so it's not too complicated, but it did come apart. The stand does sort of collapse. You can almost fold it up. There you go, like that for storage. And then, of course, bring all the columns down. So the stand, in my opinion, is kind of the weakest link. Oh, see, actually, it came out of the bottom. And that's not wasn't supposed to happen. So, yeah, I'm not super sold on the stand, but at least it did come with one. So I'm going to put that back. And then there was this additional bracket, which you add on here to hold a boom arm. Let me put the ring light back to show you what that's all about. So put the ring light back. It's already sinking. I got to tighten this. Okay, there we go. Let me lower it a little bit. But what I want you to see is this back bracket here is for, not only do you have the three phone holders here, but you also have this arm, which is sort of a boom arm for a phone. Put that on there, tighten it. Now this plastic too is not the most solid plastic. It's kind of has a little cheapy feel to it. Not so sure it's of the durability. I don't think it's going to be very durable. This is turning and I'm not sure why. Okay, so once you've got that, you can turn this and then you can actually put your phone on a boom here like that. And that will allow you to position it forward and move it a little bit more around. And if you have four phones, you can put one, two, three, and then a fourth one. It's kind of ridiculous, but you can get all that stuff going, and you can move this around and get this position just right. So the brackets that it comes with are pretty incredible. There's definitely a lot of options there for up to four phones. Let me take the back bracket off again because it also comes with this holder, which doubles as a phone holder on one side. You can put a cell phone in there or a tablet holder on the other. And I'll screw that here in the middle to show you what that looks like. All right, and then you can have a tablet here as well. Okay, now there are the three holders here. They're all 1/4-inch screws, so you can put any one of these in any one of these three holes. Generally, you'd probably want to use the middle one, and then this can extend down to hold a tablet. That's interesting. So you can record with a tablet if you want, or with a phone. All right, cool. So let's talk about the ring light itself. Let me grab the power plug here. Now, one thing you'll notice is that the power cable is pretty short. I'm not that tall, so I'm about 5'7", 5 foot. I like to say 5'8". My wife says 5'7", so I'm 5'7". I've got the ring light a little bit higher than my head, which would probably be higher than I would use it. But turn it off. Even if I were to lower it to about my head height, the power adapter still, this part, the transformer still doesn't reach the floor. So it's just kind of like hanging on the wire, and I don't like that because it puts tension on this part, the wire itself. So I wish that the transformer reached the floor. It does not. I'll show you what that looks like. So you can see the transformer just hanging there. Okay, also the wire is not particularly long, so I have an orange. You see that orange? That's an extension cord. So I had to connect the extension cord to it in order to make it reach the outlet. It doesn't have a very long cord. So that's something I'm not super crazy about. There are USB ports back here, so I suppose you can charge your devices or keep them plugged in while you're recording. That is cool. That is handy. And then let's talk about the light itself. So it has a power button. This second switch here is a toggle between the output and the color temperature. Right now it's set to the output, so that means the plus and minus buttons are going to control the output. So I'm reducing it. It was at 100 when I turned it on. Now we're all the way down to 5%. It's still on. So you've got quite a range there. It goes from 5% to 100%, and you can adjust it here by using these up and down plus and minus keys. If you press this button, now it toggles to the color temperature. Right now I have it set to 4,500 degrees Kelvin, but you can increase it and the light gets cooler. Now I have it at 6,500 degrees Kelvin, and if I drop it all the way down, it goes to 2,500 degrees Kelvin. So there's quite a range there. Just tapping the plus and minus, it goes up by 300 or 200 degrees Kelvin each time. I found this to be a little inconsistent. Sometimes it seemed to go 100-degree increments. Sometimes the increments are larger. I'm trying to figure out how that works. I think it has to do with what the output is set at. I think if it's at 100%, let me put it at 100%, and now switch back to the temperature control. Now it appears to change in only 100-degree increments, whereas before it was jumping like 300 or 200, and I had it at 43% of output. So I think that's not something that's in the manual, but that's something interesting. Anything that you can do with this, you can also do with this handy remote control, and this is really cool. So you've got almost the same controls here, plus you've got a few presets. So you can hit 20%, and it will jump down to 20% power, 50%, or 100% without having to scroll. So that's kind of handy. And then it has yellow and white for changing the color temperature to more warm and then to more cool. And it actually jumps to the extremes. All right. And then white, yellow in the middle puts it somewhere in the middle, which is 4,500 degrees, which is where I started. So that's cool. Those presets are really cool. Or you can use the little disc here to actually step through little by little. So the remote is really, really handy. And that's it. So I think the power on the light is pretty good. Let me take my phone here and put it in the center. So I'm going to just turn this around. And that way we'll use the phone holder for the phone that I'm using to make this video. Okay, so now I'm using the phone and I'm being lit with the ring light. It's obviously a little too bright here, so let me grab the remote, turn the power down a little bit. There we go, that's a little bit better. And there you have it now. It looks pretty good. It looks pretty good. I think it's a pretty cool ring light. If I put it up to 100 power, I'm a little bit blown out. And if I put it to 20% power, you can probably see me. It doesn't help that I also got some daylight behind me. Let me turn the camera around here so that you can see me sort of backlit and see how that works. Because this might be a time when you would use a ring light. If you've got some backlighting, there you go. And now you really can't see me, right? Well, you can see the ring light in the mirror. Let me turn that this way. Okay, so I'm at 20% power, and I'm heavily backlit from outside. Put it at 50%, put it at 100%. 100%, you can see me better. So that's as high as it goes. All right, and backlighting is still pretty strong. but you get the sense here of how it works. And overall, I think the ring light is pretty cool. I do like the power. I do like the output. I do like that it folds, and I do like the size. I like the controls and that there are presets on the remote. That's very handy. So the ring light itself, I think, is really cool. What I think could be improved and what I'm not crazy about is the power cable length is a little bit on the short side, and I'm not convinced that this light stand is going to last. So I'll probably not use it after this review. I'll probably use one of my heavier duty light stands. And one other thing that I forgot to mention here, two other things actually, is that it does come with a nice carry bag. So you can put it in this bag when you're done. That's pretty neat and handy. And one other thing that it does include that I did not mention is a little Bluetooth remote for your camera. So you can use it to start recording or take selfies. This connects Bluetooth and it works pretty well. It's just a little standard thing. All right, so that's it. That's my review of the giant 22-inch foldable ring light. Hope this helps.